everyone, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another sorority recruitment video. These have been so super requested and you guys have seemed to love them, so of course I'm going to keep doing them. They seem to be super helpful for you guys. I'm honestly really excited for this one because I haven't seen too many people do it. I'm going to be reading you guys advice from my sorority sisters. I reached out to all of them and asked me to send any recruitment advice they had for you guys or anybody going through the recruitment process right now, and I got really great feedback, so I'm going to be sharing all of the advice that I got from my sisters, and I thought it would give you guys kind of more of a different opinion just because of course I'm giving you guys my advice, but also like you're only hearing one side of it from me and of course any other YouTubers you're watching, but I thought it would be cool to get somebody else's kind of perspective on it. I got this idea from Keegan Acton, one of my best friends. I'm going to leave her video down below. Definitely check her video out. This one's going to be a little bit different because I'm not with any sorority sisters because we're all in quarantine. But I did reach out to them virtually and they all texted me their advice that they had for you guys. Keegan's, she did it in person with her sorority sisters, and her subscribers asked her questions and they all answered it, which was super cool. But I'm just going to be reading straight advice, no questions asked, just straight advice. So let's get started with the video. I'm just going to be reading the texts word for word, and I hope that they will be some sort of helpful to you guys. So I'm going to start off with the first one. I'm not going to say any of the sisters' names just because I don't really know if they want their names to be in the video, so I'm just gonna read the advice. She says, I was a RoGamma this past year. A RoGamma is a recruitment guide. Of course, it could be a different name in any other school, so just keep that in mind. She said, I was a RoGamma this past year and some of the hardest things I felt PNMs had to deal with was pressure from older siblings about chapters or falling in love day one and then getting their heart broken. I think one of my favorite lines was, this isn't rejection, it's just redirection. It doesn't take the pain from the disappointment away, but there is just hope, and if you are willing to trust the process, then there's a place in Panhellenic for you. I think that's really great advice. A lot of people do definitely feel pressure from their older siblings or parents that were in the sorority or anything like that. I luckily didn't have to deal with that. That is something that could definitely be super hard, so definitely don't give any pressure like that. I know it's easier said than done, but yeah. She also talked about trusting the process, which is something that like you're gonna hear so much and you're gonna get so sick of it, but it's so true. If you are willing to trust the process, there is a place in Panhellenic for you. Everybody kind of has their own different experience and their own recruitment process. This is another text from another one of my sisters. She says, for recruitment, I highly recommend making a tiny emergency kit. Mine included Advil, oil blotting sheets, band-aids, regular and blister, bobby pins, hair ties, roller perfume, roller deodorant, a mini sewing kit, a mirror, mints, and a mini fan. That is super true. I have an entire video about recruitment advice and I said that in that video as well, so I'm gonna again have all the videos to those down below in case you want to check out any of my other recruitment videos that I've done. She also said different advice about recruitment and staying sane. Take the time after each day to relax yourself and revamp, get dinner with friends or watch a movie and try to write down your thoughts about the process and stay positive. Super true. I was gonna say something about this later. Recruitment's a really stressful time, so you want to make sure you have time to relax yourself before the next day because you're gonna be out for really long periods of time, and it's important to make sure you're keeping yourself sane and relaxed. And yeah, I couldn't stress that more. Great advice. Really love that. The next person said, know what to expect financially. While a lot of chapters do have scholarships available to you, don't join a chapter that you know you won't be able to pay for. You could potentially be taking someone else's spot who could have easily paid for it. I definitely think that this is true. Joining a sorority is definitely a financial obligation and you do have to meet that obligation when you do join a sorority. You sign a contract saying, yes, I will be able to pay for it, and you're expected to pay that amount every semester or every year, however your sorority does it. But yeah, if you know that you definitely won't be able to pay for it, definitely think about joining another chapter or getting involved on another organization on campus, just because if you know you can't pay for it, you could join the sorority and then have to drop due to not meeting your financial obligations, and you could be taking the spot from another person who was going through recruitment and could have really seen themselves in that sorority, but you were chosen over them and then you couldn't pay for it. They could have easily gotten that spot. The next person said, some great talking points are questions. It allows you to learn more about the sorority. While girls love hearing about you, it's nice to ask them questions about themselves too. So I obviously haven't been a recruiter yet. I'm gonna be being a recruiter for my first time while you guys are going through recruitment this year. But yeah, I would definitely say that. Something I always did was ask questions just because I was genuinely curious what their life was like in that sorority, and I think that's something you should be super concerned about too. Just you spend time hearing about the sorority, but you want to hear like personal experiences. So it's nice while they are asking about you, because in the end they really want to know a lot about you. It's nice to ask them questions. How has your day been going? Oh, what's your major? What is your favorite thing? One thing that I loved asking them about living in house. Because that's something I really knew I wanted to do. I would ask each of them what their favorite event was throughout the year with the sorority, and it was super fun to hear the different answers at every chapter I went to. And then it would lead us into a whole nother conversation, because I'd be like, oh, that's a cool event, like what do you do? Some of them had really fun and unique events, and I wouldn't have known about them if I didn't ask them that question. So that's definitely a great piece of advice. While they are supposed to be talking about you, don't be afraid to ask them questions or ask about their life or any questions related to their life. The next thing someone said is don't pretend to be someone you're not. In the house that fits best for you, you should feel comfortable being yourself and not having to put a mask on. Definitely agree with that. That is something that happened to me. I found myself going to one specific house where every time I walked in, I feel like I was a completely different person, and it was something that like I didn't like having to like, it wasn't even like I was faking being somebody that I wasn't, but like the way that I talked suddenly changed just because I wanted to fit in with these girls. And that shouldn't be like, you should already fit in by just being yourself. Like, you shouldn't have to completely change your persona just to fit in with these girls. Like she said, whatever chapter is best for you, you should feel comfortable being completely and totally yourself, and you shouldn't have to pretend to be somebody that you're not. So that is a great piece of advice to follow. This one is really simple. I like this one. Don't be afraid to ask for water. It's true. A lot of people don't do this, and a lot of people don't know you could do it. Every single sorority that you visit, at least at Florida State, they have like little cups of water available to you. They don't give it to you unless you ask for it, but if you're like, I'm so sorry, it's so hot outside, do you mind if like, do you have any water I can get? They will literally get up and bring you water, and it's really nice, honestly. So don't be afraid to ask for water. They're not gonna judge you. It's honestly there for you guys to have. So don't be afraid to ask for water. Next person said, go in with an open mind, not with your mind set on a chapter. This is something super true. You don't really know about each chapter until you go see them. Of course, there's so much you could see on social media or hearing opinions from other people. But yeah, definitely just go in with an open mind. You can have a list of sororities that like, oh, I think I'm really gonna like this one, or I'm excited to go to this one, but don't be like, oh, I'm gonna be a blank by the time I'm done with this. Definitely go in with an open mind. Don't feel like, yes, I'm definitely going to be in that one, because you have no idea what's going to happen in that upcoming week. This next piece of advice I love, because it's similar to what happened to me. Choose a house for the girls you love and are similar to, not the girls you want to be like. This is similar to me, where I felt like I was putting on a mask whenever I went into a certain house. Yeah, if you find yourself being fake or like being completely not like yourself to try and fit in with the girls, totally not the house for you. This was the house that I was like, I want to be exactly like those girls. Of course I want to be like them, but I'm not them, therefore I don't fit in with them. So definitely, if you feel like you're trying to be someone that you're not, again, totally not the house for you. You want to join a chapter where you are like the girls and you do fit in with them, and you don't want to join one where you're like, I want to be them, because you're not. Everyone has their own process. If it doesn't work out for you, don't give up. This one is so true. There's so many other ways to get in a sorority than going in through formal recruitment. Right after formal recruitment, there's continuous open bidding, which I'm not going to talk about right now. I can either do another video about it, or you can research it on your own, which is something that I don't know if all schools offer it, but Florida State definitely does. There's continuous open bidding, and then there's also spring recruitment, so there's plenty of other ways to get involved with Greek life if formal recruitment doesn't work out for you. The next one is have fun with your outfits, and I definitely feel that. You want your outfits to show off your style and your personality, so get creative with them. Make sure you're still, again, being professional and modest and pretty classy, but don't be afraid to show off your style. I know some girls, like on the first round, would wear like skirts and Doc Marten boots, and I just feel like that's so cute. Like, I wore Vans, and I kind of wish I wore my Doc Martens. I feel like those would have showed off my personality and my style so well. But definitely don't be afraid to just like spice it up with something that like, ooh, this is different, it'll make me stand out, and it also shows off my personality. I love that. Would definitely recommend doing that. Somebody said express your interest in a house during your conversations. Yes, 100%. This is something I started doing during the third round, I think, maybe even the second round, where like you kind of are like, oh my gosh, I love it here. It just feels like home here. I love it. I love the conversations I'm having with you guys. Sometimes it's hard to tell if a girl is loving the house or hating it, so definitely let the recruiter know how much you love it and how much you really see yourself being there if you do feel that way. And the last person said, wear comfy shoes or bring some with you. This is super true. I talked about this in the other video that I did about recruitment tips, but if you're not wearing comfy shoes on that day, say you're wearing heels, definitely bring like a pair of flip-flops or Birkenstocks or something like that so that you can walk between the houses, because a lot of the houses are pretty far apart. So even if you have to like run to one of the houses for your next recruitment time, definitely bring a comfy pair of shoes so that you're not like running in heels or wedges, because I don't see that being a good idea. So just be prepared with whatever shoes you have. If you have uncomfortable shoes, make them comfortable or as comfortable as you can. Like put like the squishy things in like the heel or the soles or whatever, but definitely do bring a pair of like just like slides or something where in between houses you can throw those on so you're not in heels for like 6 hours a day. That is all I have for this video. I hope you guys liked it. Thank you to all of my sorority sisters that sent in advice. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Let me know if you guys have any other things you want me to do, and yeah, bye guys.